Okay, everyone, get ready because what I'm about to reveal is completely chaotic, bold, wild, and shaking the internet to its core. This is not just rumors, this is a full-blown storm. Claressa Shields. Yes, Claressa just revealed on camera that she intends to have a child with Papoose. Yes, the same Papoose who is still legally married to Remy Ma. Not separated, not quietly divorced, fully officially married. How did we even get to this point? This is not your usual celebrity love triangle. Rather, it feels like a battle being waged under the guise of motherhood. She did not skirt the subject. Cryptic hints or subtle clues, she made it clear as if she were entering a ring for a title match, and based on what people are saying on the streets, Remy is broken. Not just upset, but emotionally broken, as in her trust shattered like glass on concrete. After all, when a woman watches her husband leave and learns that another woman is not only gaining his affection, but also planning to start a family with him, it is not just a betrayal. It feels like an assault on everything she thought was hers. Stay close because this story is not just deep, it is raw, it is real, and it is far from over. The drama is overflowing, so buckle up. Apparently, winning someone's heart is just the beginning in this new era. It's about leaving a lasting legacy and securing your place in their life with something permanent. What could hit harder than a baby announcement directed directly at the soul of the man who supported him through everything? Let's go back in time for those who are still catching up. This is not just any story. We're talking about Remy Ma, a hip-hop icon who stood firm during Papoose's rise and fall, through his prime, through the dry seasons, and even when Claressa Shields, a two-time Olympic gold medalist and an undefeated boxing champion, emerged through prison walls, people looked at them and thought that if they could make it, maybe everyone else had a chance too. However, Claressa is now being portrayed as Remy's worst nightmare. At first, the tension simmered in the background, with whispers here and suspicious posts there, but she did not remain there for long. What began as quiet speculation quickly exploded into a full-blown headline once Remy and Papoose's marriage started to show cracks, and Claressa stepped in not as a bystander but as the bold, unapologetic center of the chaos. When Remy and Papoose's marriage hit a rough patch, Claressa Shields stepped in, not with boxing gloves this time, but with flawless lashes, a sleek lace front, and a plan that looked more like a carefully planned takeover than a love story. And everything changed. At Claressa's now infamous birthday party, which was more than just a party, it was the stage for a shocking twist in front of stunned guests. Papoose dropped to one knee and proposed to Claressa as if Remy had never been a part of his story. The internet erupted like fireworks on the memes for the 4th of July spread like wildfire. Group chats erupted, and in real time, people were grieving what seemed to be the death of loyalty. Remy, on the other hand, remained silent while public sources close to her said the blow hit hard, claiming that she left the party early, wearing only a black hoodie and a look that screamed pain and power. Her silence said more than any statement could. Fast forward to a few days ago when Claressa was sitting across from a reporter, cool and collected, sipping sparkling water, as if she wasn't carrying the burden of a public scandal. Then, with the ease of ordering dessert, she delivered the line that rocked the internet once more. Yes, we are planning to start a family. This was not just a bold move, it was a statement. Claressa was not just asserting a relationship. She was laying claim to a future, a legacy, and she was entering a dream that many thought once belonged to Remy. The idea of starting a family, a future, and an eternity. To top it all off, this is the same Claressa who once advised her followers to stay in their lane and mind the business that pays them. Now, she is not just changing lanes, she is completely rewriting the map, even though she was once preaching. For everyone to stay in their lane, Claressa is driving and swerving through Remy's life at full speed while laying on the horn like she owns the road. However, according to sources close to the situation, by which we mean those ever-vigilant cousins with quick reflexes and keener instincts, Remy had no warning, no rumors about plans for a baby, and no clues about creating a future until she was blindsided by an interview that completely upended her world. One insider claims Remy was so shocked that she locked herself in her dressing room for hours, risking a major appearance at a private gala. Another says she threw her phone in the air as soon as she saw the viral video on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, social media went crazy within an hour of the interview airing. Fans began sharing old pictures of her and Papoose together as well, as memories of their wedding, prison visits, and quiet moments of loyalty. It felt like people were writing love letters to the past and eulogies for what had obviously ended. She gave her everything. One tweet read, "And he gave her this." Some comments were harsh, while others were heartbreakingly tender. However, not everyone was on the team. Remy Claressa had her defenders. "You're all mad she won." One user wrote, "Let's be real, if he was that in love?" Another tweeted, "Claressa is doing what Remy wouldn't or couldn't." As for Papoose, no words, no Instagram post, no tweet, not even a lazy reaction gif, just digital stillness. Some say he is keeping quiet to avoid the backlash, while others think he is doing so because he knows deep down that he crossed a line. If the rumors are accurate, a pregnancy is already underway, and if this entire plan has been in motion for months, then what we are witnessing may end up being one of the most willful betrayals in hip-hop in years. Let's talk facts, the kind that come with timestamps. According to a recently leaked message thread between Claressa and her manager, she was prepared to start a new chapter with Papoose as long as 3 months ago. This coincides with the time that Remy and Papoose were allegedly working to patch up their marriage in private. While Remy was trying to keep things together behind closed doors, Claressa was already laying the groundwork for something new, and Papoose was caught between the roles of eager architect of a new legacy and devoted family man. If you thought the drama ended there, it only gets more complicated. A former assistant who worked closely on events for both women claims that the tension behind the scenes had been simmering for a while, according to this insider, and Remy started to notice shifts. Papoose started missing studio sessions, went dark during out-of-town trips, and turned off his location red flags one after the other. However, the moment that allegedly betrayed her trust was when she found a receipt, not just any receipt, but one for a custom baby charm necklace, for Claressa. It was found in the glove compartment, either carelessly or intentionally forgotten, or perhaps meant to be found, and now that Claressa has publicly confirmed the baby plans, Ray's silence speaks louder than words. Day by day, but if Remy's expression outside that club last Friday is any indication, her silence might not last long. She said, "It all hurt fire, and something else resolved." Claressa may have won this round, but the real battle has not yet begun. It is only getting started. Just when we thought the story couldn't go any further, it did with Claressa's baby reveal. What followed was a full-scale fire that spread like wildfire across social media within a day of the announcement. Clip going live? Internet detectives wasted no time in digging, pulling out their digital magnifying glasses, and revealing what they discovered. Hard receipts, each with a timestamp. The initial catalyst for this chain of events was an anonymous leak in which someone published a screen capture of a private Instagram story that Claressa had shared with her inner circle only. However, one member of that circle was not very loyal. The clip, purportedly recorded by a friend who later turned silent betrayer, shows Claressa's unmistakable voice speaking candidly in the background. The camera was shaky, but the voice behind it was crystal clear, a man who sounded a lot like Papoose. "You better not let anyone know we're trying already." Trying for what we all know exactly what that implies, but that was just the beginning. Because the subsequent events blurred the boundaries between real-life suspense and thriller and celebrity gossip. Shortly after a major gossip hub published screenshots that made headlines, Claressa was seen casually pointing at various cribs while discussing neutral colors and aesthetics in a FaceTime call with a luxury baby store in Miami. The boutique owner playfully teased, "Planning a little early, huh?" Claressa's response was, "I like to be ready before the internet starts talking." The irony was that the internet was already in a frenzy while Claressa's name was trending. Remy, who is famously silent during scandals, maintained radio silence, but not for long. The internet went crazy in a matter of minutes after a publicist posted a mysterious image of a black screen with 5 white words, no tags, no names, and no explanations other than, "You really thought you won." Was it a message to Claressa? A teaser for a diss track? Or a line from a hidden verse? Memes and think pieces took over timelines, and fan pages began posting full timelines titled, "How Papoose Went from Partner to PR Nightmare." Just as things were starting to calm down, a bombshell was released. A voice memo purportedly from Papoose to a friend leaked, and in that recording a familiar voice sighed, "I'm in. I thought I was doing the right thing, bro. But I had no idea that she would take it public like that. Then, the blogs about her Papoose regrets and the baby scandal went viral, and social media once again demonstrated that no secret stays buried when the streets are listening. YouTubers even gave Charlemagne the infamous Donkey of the Day for the drama that was playing out, but nothing could have prepared the world for what happened next. The tipping point was when Remy Ma's own sister took center stage, going live on Instagram for a 23-minute rant without any PR gloss. She didn't hold back, and Claressa was creeping with Montia, my sister, but she tried to save her. And now that she's waking up to all this baby talk, Papoose should be ashamed. This isn't just disrespect, it's outright humiliation. Then, in the moment that would go down in history, Ray's sister said, "Papoose should be ashamed." The internet went crazy, and that one quote became ringtones, merchandise memes, and even TikTok audio remixes. Ray's fans were so passionate that they flooded the internet with old pictures, sentimental captions, and even petitions demanding that Black women in toxic relationships in the industry be protected. It was traumatic, but also incredibly effective. As if the drama needed more layers, a third faction emerged. Armed with digital pitchforks, they didn't hold back and slammed Papoose, calling him a career leech, the biggest disappointment in hip hop, and the male version of Kris Jenner. One tweet went viral, hitting 120 likes. Papoose wrote all those bars about loyalty just to fumble it for what started as a simple gender reveal. Claressa wasn't going to sit quietly, so she fired back, calling Remy bitter, outdated, and unable to accept that she had been outplayed. Everywhere you look, the story changes from betrayal to strategy to the next scandal, and just when you think you have it figured out, a new twist appears. This time, it comes from an unexpected source, a stylist who worked with Claressa just last week. According to an anonymous tip that reached the Shade Clique, the entire baby announcement may have been a farce. The tipster claims that Claressa's pregnancy is a hoax that she is neither actively trying for nor expecting, and that it was all part of a well-planned public relations campaign used to silence Remy, who had recently reconnected with Papoose. Motherhood was a move so powerful that Remy couldn't possibly argue with it. It wasn't about love or even a baby. Rather, it was a calculated move for control and power to get ahead of a narrative that wasn't even fully formed yet. Back to Remy. As she remained silent throughout the chaos, she made a statement that was louder than words. She was the picture of grace, perfectly styled and looking like it was Grammy weekend. But it was the silence that said, "You think I'm down? But trust me, I'm not done." A tall, immaculately dressed mystery man was with her, and he immediately had social media buzzing by sunrise. The drama has only just begun. It's like the Super Bowl of betrayal unfolding before us, but this isn't just messy anymore. It's escalating into something far more dangerous. What began as a series of broken hearts and poor decisions has now transformed into a battle for reputations and contracts. At the height of the speculation, the Remy who smiled through betrayal was definitely gone. The question now isn't just what did Claressa do, but what is Remy about to do next? And the imminent threat of lawsuits. Let's start by discussing the legal aspect of the situation because Remy is no longer hiding in the shadows. According to several sources, she has hired a lawyer, and not just for a divorce. We're talking about defamation, slander, emotional distress, and even a potential request for a restraining order. Remy's legal team is claiming that Claressa's media appearances weren't just unintentional mistakes, but rather were planned to cause a public outburst that, in their opinion, could seriously harm her brand endorsements and public image. If you think that sounds like a dramatic overreaction, take a look at those legal documents that have leaked into the public eye. According to Remy's lawyer, Claressa's public remarks were intended to undermine Remy's emotional health as the lawful spouse. That one sentence alone sent Twitter into a tailspin, but while Remy's team was in the legal trenches, Claressa was busy negotiating brand deals. Yes, you read that right. Following her widely shared baby announcement, Claressa reportedly signed not one, not two, but 3 major brand partnerships. She is currently working with a wellness company that sells prenatal vitamins, a baby clothing line that hopes to work with a boxing mom campaign, and even a reality TV development deal purportedly called Fighter Fiancé Future Mom. The audacity of it was astounding, but Hollywood turned swiftly. And the day after the announcement, two of Clarissa's longtime sponsors reportedly withdrew their support. The fallout is still ongoing, and it's becoming more hazy by the minute. Two major brands, a luxury fashion label and a sports drink company, have gone strangely silent. Shortly after, both companies quietly removed Clarissa's name from their press materials. It's said that corporate didn't want to risk being associated with a scandal that would wind up on every gossip blog in the nation, especially when public sympathy is firmly on Remy's side. Charts, but behind the scenes, the hip-hop community has started to take sides, and the situation is getting more political. According to reports, Joe broke off all ties with Papoose in a now-deleted tweet saying, "Some men don't deserve who rides for them." In a shocking turn of events, Cardi B allegedly reached out to Remy privately, encouraging her and telling her to stay grounded, because real wins don't have to be rushed. However, support for Remy isn't universal, though, as some female rappers have come out in Clarissa's defense, claiming that she's being unfairly maligned for wanting a future with the person she loves. One underground artist even tweeted, "You all defending Remy like she didn't do easy." Then, as if things couldn't get any more chaotic, the final bombshell dropped. A private email exchange purportedly between Ray's manager and a producer at a major TV network surfaced online. The emails claimed that the project would feature exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and perhaps the most intriguingly intimate moments from the day Remy found out about the baby. The story, and just when you think you know how, it ends, another layer is peeled back in a dramatic twist. The emails revealed more than just behind-the-scenes drama. They hinted at a redemption story for Remy, one that could span both emotional arcs and new professional endeavors. A possible music project is being considered, and guess who might be executive producing it? Ray's sister, the same sister who went live last week and revealed the family's private affairs. As for Papoose, after days of silence, he finally broke. Silence with a black and white selfie with the caption, "Growth is painful, truth is ugly." Both are necessary, though. The post immediately went viral on social media, with half of the fans calling him brave, while the other half bombarded him with memes, clown emojis, and some even likening him to Tristan Thompson. The real shocker is that Remy unfollowed him. Not just on Instagram, but in real life. Shared home and into a posh apartment in Lower Manhattan. According to close friends, this isn't about retaliation anymore. It's about peace because I have nothing left to offer him. As for Claressa, she's posting as usual, but her most recent story shows a boomerang of her and Papoose clinking glasses with the caption, "Building hours unbothered." The catch is that the smile in that photo seems a little forced, with the hand placement less confident than it should be. Because even when you win the man, you still have to deal with the fallout that follows. Now the culture is left to wonder if this was a calculated power move, or if Claressa just set herself up for a PR disaster. This isn't just another scandal. It's the kind of collapse that reverberates through the hip-hop world for years. We're witnessing a slow-motion unraveling of a love story that once symbolized Black love in the industry. All it took was one woman, one ring, and too many baby plans. Now that the tea has been spilled, the ring has been taken, and the baby rumors are going crazy, leaving us with just one unanswered question. Who really emerged victorious? Was it Claressa, glowing with a smirk when allegedly choosing baby names? We're not just watching a scandal unfold. We're watching the slow burn of a brand collapse and possibly even the opening scene for next year's most toxic reality show. Now, it's up to you to decide whether Remy should release a diss track and reclaim the narrative, or whether she should move quietly, let the checks roll in, and let the music speak for itself. Should Claressa be praised for pursuing her goals, or is she just the latest to end a marriage for her own benefit? What about Papoose? Ever talk again, or should he just put on his AirPods, sit back, and think about his decisions? Leave your thoughts in Tice.